I've worked exclusively with adults over the age of 60, men and women navigating the very real challenges that come with aging. And today, I need to be brutally honest with you about something most people never talk about. If you're going to bed on an empty stomach, you're allowing your muscles to waste away, night after night. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're eating well during the day. It's not about laziness, and it's not even because you're getting older. It's something far more silent and far more dangerous. See, after the age of 60, our bodies go through a subtle shift. We lose our natural ability to hold on to muscle. In fact, studies show that most older adults lose up to 8% of their muscle mass every decade. And guess what? Most of that loss, it doesn't happen during the day. It happens while you sleep. Yeah, I know. That surprised me too when I first saw the research years ago. But now, it's something I see in my patients every single day. The stiffness when they get out of bed, the way their legs feel unsteady, that constant fear of falling, or the way their energy just seems to shrink over time. The truth is, your body is doing the best it can, but it needs help. It needs the right kind of fuel before bed if it's going to keep you strong. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do, starting tonight, to stop muscle loss in its tracks. And not just stop it, reverse it. No pills, no powders, no gym memberships. Just real food, smart timing, and the kind of science that actually supports your body, not fights it. Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt like your body just didn't recover from yesterday? Maybe your back feels tight, your legs feel heavy, or it's harder to get moving than it used to be. You tell yourself, well, I guess this is what aging feels like. But what if I told you that it's not actually aging that's the problem? What if the real issue is what's happening inside your body while you sleep? Here's the deal. While you're asleep, your body enters something we call recovery mode. This is the time when your muscles repair, your tissues regenerate, and your nervous system recharges. But recovery doesn't just magically happen. It needs fuel, specifically protein. And if there's no protein available in your system, because maybe dinner was light or you skipped it altogether, your body has to look elsewhere to find what it needs. You know where it gets it? Your own muscles. That's right. Your body will literally break down your muscle tissue to access the amino acids it needs to survive the night. It's a process called catabolism. Think of it like your body cannibalizing its own strength. And if you're over 60, this process becomes even more aggressive because your ability to rebuild that muscle becomes weaker. Even if you eat plenty of protein during the day, that's something we call anabolic resistance, and it's exactly why you might be eating healthy but still feeling weaker each morning. So here's the million-dollar question. What can you do about it? Well, I'll tell you. You can give your body what it needs right before bed so it doesn't have to steal it from your muscles while you sleep. And today I'm going to walk you through 8 foods that are clinically proven to protect your muscles overnight. Some of them even help build new muscle while you rest. No gym required. Each one of these foods is easy to find, affordable, and honestly, probably already in your kitchen. Let's start with the one that surprises most people. Cottage cheese, your muscles' silent nighttime hero. Now, when I mention cottage cheese, people usually smile and say something like, "My grandmother used to eat that every day." And guess what? She may have been onto something. Cottage cheese isn't just a snack from the past, it's a secret weapon for your muscles. Why? Because it contains a specific type of protein called casein. Unlike whey, which digests quickly and disappears from your bloodstream in just a couple of hours, casein digests slowly. It releases amino acids steadily over the course of 6 to 8 hours. That's exactly the kind of fuel your muscles need to stay protected through the long stretch of sleep. And here's what I've seen firsthand. Patients who felt like they were declining. Slower steps, more stiffness. Unsteady mornings began to feel stable again simply by adding this small food to their evening. One gentleman told me, "Doc, I'm not waking up creaky anymore." That's no coincidence. This food works because your body needs constant nourishment while it sleeps. And casein is one of the only proteins that delivers exactly that. For years, we underestimated just how powerful a steady amino acid release could be. Now, science is finally catching up. It's the difference between surviving the night and recovering during it. I often say to patients, if your dinner ends at 6 p.m. and your breakfast isn't until 8 a.m., that's 14 hours of fasting. That's a long time to expect your muscles to wait. Cottage cheese fills that gap beautifully, and it doesn't overwhelm your system. It's gentle, familiar, and incredibly effective. In fact, in one study published in the British Journal of Nutrition, older adults who ate just a small dose of casein before bed saw a 31% increase in overnight muscle protein synthesis. They didn't just maintain muscle, they built more muscle while sleeping, without lifting a single weight. Now, how do I recommend you use this? Simple. Take about half a cup of cottage cheese, roughly 100 to 120 grams, and eat it 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. If the taste feels a little too plain for you, add a few banana slices, maybe a dash of cinnamon, or a teaspoon of raw honey. And for an extra boost, add a few chia seeds. They help with digestion and give you a little fiber and omega-3s to go along with it. Best part? Cottage cheese is easy to digest, even for people with sensitive stomachs. And it contains tryptophan, that amino acid that helps you relax and fall asleep easier. If you're waking up sore or stiff, or your sleep just feels shallow, this small bedtime ritual can make a big difference. I've seen it change lives. Hard-boiled eggs. Simple but surprisingly powerful. Let's move on to another food that's ridiculously easy to find, super affordable, and completely overlooked as a bedtime snack: hard-boiled eggs. Now, I know what you're thinking. Eggs? At night? But hear me out. Each egg contains about 6 grams of high-quality complete protein. That means you're getting all the essential amino acids your muscles need. And more importantly, eggs contain something very special: leucine. Leucine is like the on switch for muscle building. It triggers the entire muscle repair process. But here's the challenge. After 60, your body becomes less sensitive to that trigger. It needs more leucine, and it needs it in a form that's easy to digest. That's why eggs are so perfect. And here's the part people don't realize. Eggs aren't just convenient, they're biologically efficient. I had one patient in his late 60s who told me, "Doc, I don't like powders. I want real food." So I suggested a hard-boiled egg before bed. That one egg helped him feel stronger in the mornings within just a few weeks. The simplicity of it made it easy for him to stay consistent. And that's why it worked. Eggs are what I call a smart protein. They deliver more with less. They're also low in sugar, low in carbs, and won't spike your blood sugar before sleep. Plus, they're easy to chew, easy to prepare, and easy to keep in the fridge. This isn't something that's trendy, it's timeless. And most importantly, it works. You're getting not just protein, but also choline for brain support, and healthy fats that help with vitamin absorption. Oh, I always tell my patients, when you don't feel like cooking or thinking too hard, this is your fallback. In fact, a study from the journal Nutrients followed adults over 60 who ate whole eggs before bed for 12 weeks. They had 19% better muscle retention. Not only that, but they had higher levels of IGF-1, a growth hormone that helps your body recover and repair during the night. So here's what I tell my patients. Boil a few eggs in advance, keep them in the fridge, then about 30 minutes before bed, eat 1 or 2. You can sprinkle a little turmeric or black pepper on them. Turmeric helps with inflammation, and black pepper helps your body absorb the good stuff. And if you want to feel more full, pair your egg with a few slices of avocado or a piece of whole grain toast. This is a great choice for those of you who don't have much appetite at night. It's light, easy to digest, and does exactly what your body needs it to do: protect your muscles while you sleep. All right, so now you've got your cottage cheese and your hard-boiled eggs, 2 easy, powerful ways to start giving your muscles the support they're quietly begging for. But let's not stop there, because what I'm about to tell you next may not sound like a typical bedtime snack, but for older adults, it's one of the smartest things you can eat. Let's talk about tuna. Tuna packed in olive oil. Yes, it's a bedtime superfood. I know. Tuna isn't exactly the first thing that comes to mind when you're thinking of a relaxing nighttime treat. But I want you to look at it differently from now on, because when it comes to preserving muscle while you sleep, this combo is a quiet powerhouse. Tuna is one of the leanest, most protein-dense foods on the planet. It's rich in leucine, which, as we talked about, flips that muscle-building switch. But the real secret? It's the olive oil. See, when tuna is packed in olive oil instead of water, that oil does something beautiful. It slows down the digestion of the protein, allowing your body to absorb the amino acids steadily throughout the night. Instead of a quick burst of fuel that burns out in 2 hours, you get a slow, even release that lasts all night long. Imagine it like this: the tuna delivers the fuel, and the olive oil controls the burn, keeping the energy coming long after you've fallen asleep. And that's exactly what your body needs when it's in that deep recovery phase. One of my patients, a 74-year-old retired teacher, told me he started waking up without that deep hip stiffness once he made this part of his bedtime routine. No other change, just tuna with olive oil. It's simple, but it works. And when you think about it, it makes sense. This pairing gives you two of the most anti-inflammatory tools in one bite: omega-3s and monounsaturated fat. That means less joint pain, fewer muscle aches, and better circulation while you sleep. Some people even notice improved sleep depth, not because the tuna knocks them out, but because their body finally isn't battling low-grade inflammation all night. It's a quiet kind of healing that happens from the inside out. And best of all, there's no cooking involved. Open, plate, pair, and you're done. And the science backs this up. In 2020, a study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults who consumed protein-rich, omega-3 loaded foods like tuna in olive oil before bed had up to 34% more overnight muscle protein synthesis. That's a big number. But beyond just muscle building, they also had reduced morning soreness, better vitamin D absorption, and lower inflammation markers. Now, how do you eat it? About half a can of tuna packed in olive oil is more than enough. You can pair it with cucumber slices, maybe some whole grain crackers, or even just a squeeze of lemon if you want to freshen up the taste. Just skip the mayo. Creamy sauces are harder to digest at night, and they can interfere with sleep quality. This one's especially good for those of you who wake up sore, sluggish, or with stiff joints. The combination of high-quality protein and anti-inflammatory fat helps your body repair quietly, efficiently, and thoroughly while you sleep. Greek yogurt, not just a snack, it's a science-backed recovery tool. Next up is something that might already be in your fridge, but you've probably only ever thought about it as a breakfast food or a midday snack. I'm talking about Greek yogurt, and not just any kind, plain unsweetened Greek yogurt. This is one of my absolute favorites for overnight muscle recovery, and I'll tell you why. Greek yogurt is triple strained, which means it's thicker, has less sugar, and packs a much higher punch of protein compared to regular yogurt, but it also has a special trio of benefits that make it almost tailor-made for aging bodies. First, it contains casein protein, the same slow-digesting protein we talked about with cottage cheese. That means it keeps feeding your muscles through the night. Second, it's rich in probiotics, which support your gut health and help with digestion. And third, it's high in calcium, which helps with muscle contraction and bone strength. But here's something most people don't realize. Probiotics also support nutrient absorption. That means when you eat Greek yogurt at night, you're not just getting protein, you're actually making everything you ate earlier that day work better for you. And the calcium? It's not just for your bones. It plays a role in how your muscles fire and contract, helping you avoid cramps or restless legs during the night. I had one patient who dealt with nightly leg cramps for years. No medications helped, but a simple serving of Greek yogurt with cinnamon before bed? Gone in 2 weeks. It's also cooling and gentle on the stomach, which makes it a perfect option if you tend to eat dinner early and find yourself just a little hungry at night. Some of my patients even say it helps them sleep more deeply, not because it knocks them out, but because they're finally getting quality rest, the kind where your body is actually doing its job. And the best part? It's easy. You don't have to cook anything. You don't have to mix powders or count grams. You just open the fridge, scoop, and enjoy. In one clinical study published in Frontiers in Nutrition, Older adults who had a serving of high-protein Greek yogurt before bed saw a 26% increase in overnight muscle protein synthesis. They even showed better mitochondrial activity in muscle cells, essentially more energy at a cellular level, and many participants reported waking up more energized. I mean, what more could you ask for from a bedtime snack? So here's how I recommend using it. Take about half a cup, plain, unsweetened. Stir in a little cinnamon, maybe a handful of fresh berries, or a drop of vanilla extract. Want to take it up a notch? Add a teaspoon of chia seeds. You'll get a little fiber, a boost of omega-3s, and smoother digestion. This one's ideal if you often wake up feeling tired or heavy, if your mornings just feel slow. Greek yogurt before bed can help your body reset and rebuild more effectively. Warm milk with turmeric. Ancient wisdom meets modern science. Now let's slow things down a bit. This next one isn't even a food, technically. It's a drink. But wow, is it powerful? It's something that's been used for centuries, but now we've got modern science confirming just how effective it really is. I'm talking about warm milk with turmeric. You might have heard it called golden milk. And let me be clear, this isn't just a cozy comfort drink. This is a recovery formula. Warm milk gives you casein protein, just like we talked about. It also has calcium for your bones and tryptophan to help you sleep. But the real star here is the turmeric. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatories we know of. For older adults, especially those dealing with joint pain or chronic soreness, this is a game changer. When you combine milk and turmeric, you're giving your body both the building blocks it needs to recover and the inflammation relief to support that recovery. A recent study in nutritional neuroscience found that older adults who drank a protein-rich beverage enhanced with curcumin before bed saw a 32% increase in overnight muscle synthesis, along with reduced morning stiffness and lower inflammation in muscle tissue. Want to know how to prepare it? Here's my personal method. Warm up 1 cup of milk. Cow's milk is great, but if you're lactose intolerant, go for almond, oat, or soy milk that's fortified with protein and calcium. Stir in a 1/4 teaspoon of ground turmeric and just a pinch of black pepper. Very small, just a few grains. That pepper helps your body absorb the curcumin. If you want it a little sweeter, add a teaspoon of raw honey. That's it. Sip it about 30 minutes before bed. This is especially helpful for those of you who struggle with shallow sleep or wake up often. It helps calm your nervous system, reduce inflammation, and fuel muscle repair all at once. And I'll tell you, once you make this a habit, your body will feel the difference. Almond butter, the 1-spoon muscle saver. Okay, let's keep going. This next one is shockingly simple, just 1 spoon, that's it, but it carries a big punch. Almond butter, this little spoonful of goodness, is packed with nutrients your muscles need overnight. It's got healthy fats that slow digestion, keeping your body fed while you sleep. It's got plant-based protein that supplies amino acids. And it's rich in vitamin E, which supports tissue repair and recovery. But here's what really surprised me, and honestly impressed me, about almond butter. A 2020 study published in Nutrients found that older adults who added almond-based fats to their nighttime routine had better nitrogen retention, which means better muscle preservation and lower cortisol levels. Now, cortisol is your stress hormone, and stress, especially at night, is one of the worst things for your muscles. It accelerates breakdown and blocks repair. So lowering it, that's huge. How do you use almond butter properly? Simple. About 1 tablespoon, just 16 grams. You can eat it straight or spread it on whole grain toast, apple slices, or a couple of oat-based crackers. Just make sure you're using natural almond butter. No added sugar, no hydrogenated oils, no weird ingredients. This one's perfect for those of you who don't want to eat much before bed. If you have a small appetite but still want to protect your strength, a spoonful of almond butter might be the easiest fix you'll ever try. Okay, we've made some real progress so far. You're already learning how a few simple, delicious foods can completely shift how your body handles recovery, balance, and strength while you sleep. But we're not done yet. Not even close, because now we're getting into one of my absolute favorite tools for supporting not only your muscles, but also your sleep your joints, and even your immune function. You ready? Let's talk about tart cherry juice. Tart cherry juice, your nighttime recovery elixir. Yes, I said cherry juice, but not the sweet stuff from a cocktail mix or fruit punch. I'm talking about 100% pure tart cherry juice. The kind that makes you squint a little when you drink it. The kind that actually does something for your body. Here's the thing about tart cherries. They are loaded with natural compounds called anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents. And they also contain a small but effective dose of melatonin, the same hormone your body uses to control your sleep cycle. But beyond that, tart cherry juice has a unique synergy with older bodies. It works not just on sleep and inflammation, but also on circulation and joint flexibility. I've had patients who struggled with restless nights and aching knees finally wake up feeling clear-headed and mobile again, just from adding this one small glass to their routine. And for those who've battled stiffness in their hands or ankles for years, this was the first time they started seeing a change without medication. What's fascinating is how it helps support the release of growth hormone during deep sleep. That's the hormone your body uses to rebuild muscle, repair tissue, and restore energy stores. And unlike synthetic melatonin, which can sometimes leave you groggy or dependent, tart cherry juice works naturally, with your body not against it. In fact, one of my patients, 77 years old, active but sore after her daily walks, said it was the first time in years she slept through the night without waking up achy. That's not just sleep, that's healing. So what happens when you drink a small glass of this stuff before bed? Well, a 2019 study from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that adults over 50 who consumed tart cherry juice before bedtime had 33% less muscle soreness in the morning and a 15% improvement in sleep quality. They also had higher melatonin levels and better antioxidant circulation through their bloodstream during the night. This isn't just about feeling a little more rested, this is about giving your body the exact tools it needs to reduce inflammation, relax deeper, and recover faster. Now, how do you use it effectively? Just 4 to 6 ounces, that's about 120 to 180 milliliters, taken about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. That's all. Make sure it's unsweetened and make sure it's labeled tart cherry, not sweet cherry or a blend. If it's too strong for your taste, you can dilute it with a little water or add a squeeze of lemon to brighten it up. This one is for you if you wake up sore or if you just feel foggy in the mornings. If you're the type of person who wakes up with joint stiffness or poor sleep, this tiny drink might just be your new best friend. Whey Protein Shake, the #1 tool for rebuilding muscle while you sleep. Now I've saved the best and most important for last, because this one changed everything for some of my patients, especially the ones who thought they were too old to get stronger again. Let's talk about whey protein. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just for gym rats and bodybuilders? And listen, I totally get that. I used to think the same thing. But here's the truth. Older adults need whey protein even more than younger adults. Why? Because your body loses its ability to absorb and use protein efficiently. That anabolic resistance we talked about earlier, whey protein helps break through it. Whey protein contains all 9 essential amino acids and a particularly high dose of leucine, that same muscle-building switch we've talked about. It's rapidly absorbed and highly effective, especially before bed when your body is entering deep recovery mode. And here's what I love most about it. It's reliable. I've seen patients who were stuck in cycles of fatigue and loss, people who could barely rise from their recliners, start to regain strength within just a few weeks of adding whey into their nightly routine. It's not a gimmick, it's not hype, it's clinical nutrition doing exactly what it was meant to do. And for those who struggle to meet their protein needs during the day, this becomes not just helpful, it becomes essential. Even patients who were recovering from surgery or prolonged hospital stays bounced back faster when whey protein was part of their evening rhythm. It gives your body the exact material it needs at the precise time it's doing its most important healing. There's something powerful about reclaiming strength quietly, overnight, without noise or effort, just by giving your body the raw materials. And for those who feel discouraged, like they're too far gone, this is a way to take back control, one scoop at a time. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tracked adults over 65 who drank 40 grams of whey protein before bed. They saw a 22% increase in overnight muscle protein synthesis, along with lower muscle breakdown markers and improvements in walking speed and strength. And this happened even without exercise. Now imagine combining that with light walking or stretching. The impact gets even stronger. Here's how to use it. Mix 1 scoop of high-quality whey protein isolate or hydrolyzed whey if you have a sensitive stomach with cold water or unsweetened almond milk. Drink it about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. If you want to dress it up a little, you can blend it with half a banana, a spoon of almond butter, or a dash of cinnamon. But keep it clean. Avoid sugar, cream, or store-bought mass gainers. You want pure whey protein isolate. This shake is especially important for seniors who have low appetite, are recovering from illness, injury, or surgery, want to regain confidence in walking, balance, or daily strength. It's simple, it's fast, and it works. In fact, if you only made one change to your bedtime routine, this would be it. Why timing matters more than you think. Let's take a quick breath here because I want you to understand something important, not just what you eat before bed, but when. Most of the benefits I've talked about happen when these foods are eaten about 30 to 60 minutes before sleep. Why? Because it gives your body time to digest and start absorbing those amino acids before you enter your deepest recovery phase. The sooner your muscles get those nutrients, the sooner they can stop breaking down and start building back up. So whether it's half a cup of Greek yogurt, a spoon of almond butter, or a small shake, try to make that bedtime window consistent. Your body loves routine, and when you feed it at the right time, it knows exactly what to do with that fuel. But doc, what if I don't feel hungry at night? I get this question all the time, and I totally understand. A lot of seniors simply don't feel like eating before bed. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you just finished dinner a few hours ago. Maybe your appetite just isn't what it used to be. But here's what I want you to remember. You don't need a big meal. In fact, you shouldn't have a big meal before bed. All you need is a small strategic snack, something that takes the edge off your hunger and delivers the amino acids your muscles need while you rest. Even just a spoon of almond butter or half a cup of Greek yogurt can be enough to shift your entire recovery process. So don't let lack of appetite stop you. Think of this less like a meal and more like giving your body a dose of medicine. That just happens to taste good. Final thoughts before we wrap up. Listen, you are not powerless against aging. You don't need to accept the fact that your muscles are fading, your balance is slipping, or your mornings are getting harder. You just need to give your body what it needs at the right time. The foods we talked about today, they're not fancy. They're not expensive. But they are proven in study after study to do something truly remarkable. Rebuild your muscle and protect your strength overnight. Cottage cheese, hard-boiled eggs, tuna with olive oil, Greek yogurt, golden milk, almond butter, tart cherry juice, whey protein. Each of these is a small choice, but together they become a routine that transforms your nights and your mornings. So here's what I want you to do. Try just one of them tonight. That's it. Just one. Pick the one that sounds best to you. Eat it about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Then, when you wake up tomorrow, notice how your body feels. Within a few days, you'll likely feel a difference. Within a few weeks, you'll see the difference. I've watched patients who could barely get out of a chair start walking with confidence again. I've seen men and women in their 70s and 80s regain strength they thought was lost for good. You're not too old, you're not too far gone, you're not broken, your body is still working for you. You just have to meet it halfway, and it all starts tonight with one small intentional choice. If you found this helpful, I encourage you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone you care about, a parent, a friend, a neighbor, someone who's also feeling their strength fade and doesn't know why. Drop a comment below and tell me, which bedtime food are you going to try first? And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You're never too old to get stronger, and you're never too late to start. I'll see you in the next episode. Sleep well, stay strong.